It is time now for my favorite land of all, Fantasyland. Fantasyland, I believe, is the biggest of all lands, but it also was always Walt Disney's favorite. The entrance to Fantasyland is, of course, Sleeping Beauty Castle. Let's just go. We are going to Fantasyland. Fantasyland, I also believe, has the most attractions, simply because most of its attractions are very small attractions. And at this time of night, it's usually very crowded with all the little children, and princes and princesses. Here we are, Fantasyland. They purposely made it so if you look through the gates, you can see King Arthur's carousel. Very nice. You can also go to the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough, which is a walkthrough of the Sleeping Beauty story, right over there, inside the castle. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Yes, indeed. Quite. There's also a girls' salon right there called the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, where you can, it's very expensive, but you can have your little girl get dressed up like a princess. Kind of cool. This is Peter Pan's Flight. This is probably one of the most popular rides in the whole park. It's an indoor dark ride. It's very slow. It just tells the story of Peter Pan. And, however, it's different from the other rides in that you are not just riding in the car, you are flying in a pirate galley. That must be why it's so popular. The other dark rides include Snow White's Scary Adventures, which may be frightening for young children, Pinocchio's Daring Journey over there, and also Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which, unlike the other dark rides, does not follow the story of Mr. Toad exactly. But it's actually one of the jolliest in the park. It's very nice. You can see the back of the castle right there. Fantasyland is my personal favorite of all. You can also see the Sword in the Stone right there. Every so often, Merlin will come out and choose one child to be King or Queen of England for a day, because they are able to pull the sword out of the stone. It's very nice. King Arthur Carousel. Back in the back of Fantasyland, we have some other charming attractions. Dumbo's Flight, which just go around with Dumbo. Casey Jr. Circus Train, just a tiny little train. Also, Storybook Land attraction, which you go on a boat, and you see miniatures from classic Disney films. It was always Walt Disney's favorite attraction. I think it's quite charming. And over there near Pinocchio's Daring Journey is the Village House restaurant, which actually I think is one of the better restaurants in the park. Now over here is the Alice Corner, as I call it. We have the Mad Hatter Shop, which is a great hat shop. And we also have one of the more famous park attractions, the Mad Tea Party, aka the Teacup, where you ride and spin in your very own teacup. It's a very wild ride. Over there is the Alice in Wonderland attraction, which is another dark ride following the Alice in Wonderland movie. I believe that my favorite dark ride is probably Peter Pan, simply because of the flying. And over here, I'm going to have to go both ways. It's very difficult. Okay, if you look up there, oh my gosh, you can't, oh, the tree's in the way. I'm sorry.
I don't think
no.
I don't know which one.
Over near Alice Corner is probably the second best attraction in the park, second only to Indiana Jones. My favorite, Matterhorn Mountain, the Matterhorn bobsled. The Matterhorn bobsled is very popular. It is a high-speed roller coaster ride, where you slide down the mountain, the Matterhorn Mountain of Switzerland, in your very own bobsled, trying to escape the feverish Yeti. Unfortunately, when I came, it is under refurbishment. However, usually it is up and running, so very good ride. Also, there has been much debate about whether the Fantasyland or the Tomorrowland side of Matterhorn bobsled is faster, because it straddles the boundary between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, so there are two different entrances. I have found that the Fantasyland entrance is faster. However, I've heard that it depends more on the weight of people who are in the bobsled. So if you want to go fast, try and get in with a bunch of fat people. If you are fat, then you're lucky for once. Sorry, fat people. Go to a gym. Okay, up here, very charming little section. Very charming. Up here is very popular, but very also haunted. It's a Small World attraction. It's a Small World, a charming slow-moving boat ride with that horrid but somehow addicting song known as It's a Small World, where you will go on a sailing ship across the world, meet the children of the world, and they will tell you it's a small world after all, because we all share friendship and smiles and laughter. This attraction was originally made for the New York 64-65 World's Fair. Well, Disney thought it was such a success, he brought it to his park. I think it's a lovely attraction, very nice. It was, other than Peter Pan's Flight, it was probably one of my favorites when I was a kid. It also is a working clock. Oh, actually, I think I can get it on the screen. It's a working clock. Every 15 minutes, it'll say what time it is. Right now, it's 6:45 at night. See that little face thing that ticks in the front? That's ticking the seconds down. So it's an actual working clock. Now, up here is the end Fantasyland. This is the Fantasyland Theater. It currently holds, well, you can't see it, but it's the Princess Fantasy Fair, which is a character walk. You can meet 3 Disney princesses. I do believe that ends Fantasyland. However, Fantasyland is my favorite. And yes. Oh. There are other places in Fantasyland that I want to tell you about. Okay. Fantasyland, Fantasyland. I do believe that ends our Disneyland practical tour. However, you can check out my other clips and see what goes on here. Thank you.